Hey everybody, I'm Adam and welcome to another show this evening. Saturday, Manchester United played yesterday. All the other Premier League teams are currently playing right now. We are going to be covering the game between Chelsea and Aston Villa later on as well, everyone. But first of all, I want to talk about the changes at Manchester United and whether internally they have been brought upon Rúben Amorim by discussions with the club. An interesting conversation that was had on Talk of the Devils with Andy Mitten of The Athletic. I want to get your thoughts on this, so please do get into the comments section. Give me your thoughts on what you think has changed the most at Manchester United. I'm also going to bring up what Rúben Amorim also said around changes at Manchester United regarding this formation. There has clearly been a shift, whether it's a shift in power, whether it's somebody telling Rúben Amorim what to do and telling him that he needs to change, whether his job is on the line. We can go that far if you want to. I don't think it's at that stage, I'm going to be honest. I think this board is right behind Rúben Amorim at the moment, but something or someone has switched. Rúben is playing a big part here in this switch because he's in charge of the reins, and he can make these choices on where he wants Manchester United to go and where he wants Manchester United to be. That's his vision. But what Andy Mitten said is very interesting, I feel, and I think it's key in this whole conversation about where Rúben is with this current group of players, because he's getting a response. I think I've been sat there several occasions now. We've done the watch-alongs. I've been at the stadium. We've seen it again last night that these players believe in what Rúben Amorim is telling them. They are learning what Rúben Amorim is telling them. Just go back to Aidan Heaven's interview last night after that game and that starring performance from him at the back against Newcastle, when he said that this manager coaches us several different formations. There is no excuse for these players here right now. Manchester United's power from behind Rúben Amorim, I think, is also having an influence on these players. We're not going to get this manager sacked. He's already got rid of 2 academy players in Rashford and Garnacho, the saviours of Manchester United and the leading lights, and replaced them with proven professional footballers, the likes of Mbeumo and Matthias Cunha. If you are not going to put the right amount of effort in, you're out of the football club. No matter who you are, how long you've been here, what wage packet you're on, or what's on the back of your shirt, you're gone. I think that has definitely helped Rúben Amorim with this. And a lot has come from that actual moment when Sir Jim Radcliffe came out and backed Rúben. But I feel like there's more to this. I think that there's more in this. And what Andy Mitten was saying was definitely key in everything that's actually going on now at Manchester United. I think it's massive that within the club, discussions have been had. And Andy Mitten says this, and this is what he said after the Newcastle game on Talk of the Devils, when he said, I think there's been a softening in his handling stance, in his hardline stance, a softening in his hardline stance. We have said this for months. He will change the formation on his terms, and what are his terms? ? He has been forced into it because of injuries. Also, from within the club, there's been a feeling that he will change the formation, definitely. He is the coach, but there are other decision makers. Andy Mitten, the most connected man at Manchester United and probably one of the most connected men in the football media world. We know this. We've talked about Andy Mitten's reports and what he has said a lot on this channel. I have a lot of respect for Andy Mitten and what he's done with the United We Stand fanzine, and then moving into his journalism from travelling the world around following Manchester United. This guy covers more miles than anybody on the planet with the work that he does at this football club, and he's very, very, very well respected by the club and his peers as well within the world of media, sports media, football media, whatever you want to say. And he is saying here within Manchester United, and this is something that we can actually take with seriousness, because Andy Mitten knows a lot of people behind the scenes at Manchester United. There is a clear mission from United to get Manchester United back to the top within the hierarchy. And people there do speak to Andy Mitten. In fact, he managed to get an interview with Sir Jim Radcliffe. Yeah, so when you can get that far and you can speak to Omar Barada, you kind of know that if Andy Mitten says this, then there is somebody saying something behind the scenes and something has happened. And it's that line there. From within the club, there's been a feeling that he will change the formation. Definitely. So is this the plan of the club? Was this discussed with Rúben? Is this just the club telling Andy Mitten that we knew AFCON was coming and we were going to have to change. He says there also that this was forced upon him with injuries. So has Rúben Amorim been forced into this, or has he knowingly changed this because he hasn't got the quality in player? He's spoken recently on a Sky interview saying that he cannot play the formation that he wants. He needs a specific, very specific player to play that way, and he hasn't got that at the moment. He alludes to the fact that he needs another Ahmad cutting in from the left-hand side on his other foot and giving him another option out wide to play the 3-4-3. You cannot replicate what Ahmad is within this squad. Now, Dorgu has stepped up the last few games and he has given us a little bit more. But is that enough? Is that enough for Manchester United going forward? The answer is no. We're looking for new wingers at the moment, and I just don't see his formation working for him. And there has been an adaptation of this system, and it completely changes all of the time. I think we all mentioned the fact that Eddie Howe was spitting absolute nonsense about his time on the pitch with the ball and how the referee let Manchester United off and allowed them to control the game because the ball wasn't in play. This was just Eddie Howe being completely baffled by tactics on the sideline. And I think Rúben Amorim has definitely got into his players. Look, this is not one formation. It's a system which adapts constantly. And he's been going on about this constantly. But what he is doing now, he's learning what his players' capabilities are. He says, and he's alluded to the fact that he's been there a year now. He's learned so much within that year that he has obviously clearly realised where he's had to change. And I think we're now seeing this. We're seeing it on the pitch. We're seeing Manchester United change. The players' attitudes, I think, towards this system have changed. And what's happened behind the scenes, I think, has been absolutely crucial to this as well. Not just in the backing, but clearly there is a football structure there with football people knowing what they're doing. Also having conversations with Rúben. The fact that the manager has actually come out and said that he speaks to the rest of the Manchester United management team on a daily basis. Jason Wilcox has also come out and said he speaks with Rúben in weekly meetings alongside Christopher Vivell and other members of the recruitment team at Manchester United, the academy side of things. Now we're starting to see that, and this was probably planned to see these academy players coming into Manchester United starting lineup at this stage of the season when AFCON was about, maybe not to the severity as where we're at now with the threadbare squad that we've actually got, but this does look like it was part of the plan now. And I do think that Rúben has learnt. And how many times have I said this? Unless Rúben learns, he is going to get the sack at Manchester United. You cannot continue at Manchester United with these results. And he's had to adapt to get these results. And thank God he's done it. They've given him that year. He's seen out that first year. And it's up to him now. We said all along, you're new to the Premier League. This is the first big job that you've actually had in management. You have to start learning now. And if you learn at Manchester United, then you're probably going to be able to be successful at any football club going forward. He wants to be at Man United for a long time. Rúben Amorim has said this as well. But I actually do think now that Rúben's realised he has. And you can actually see how Manchester United players have, it's not just warm to him. I think they like him anyway. I think he's a good manager, a good coach. But you can see it on the pitch. You can see them players giving more. And the responsibility that them players took with no Bruno Fernandes, no Mason Mount, Mbeumo, Ahmad, big players, Maguire, De Ligt, like we've been speaking about. Without them players in the squad, for that team to step up, that squad to step up, it just feels like, and look, this isn't anywhere near the Manchester United of old, but what Manchester United of old used to always have was that squad of players that felt like they were part of what was going on. I think Rúben's now starting to get that, and he's starting to actually get through to these players. And that's the point I wanted to make in this video. I wanted to just bring that out and get people's opinions. So please do pile into the comment section below, everybody. Make sure you get your thoughts in on what you think of Rúben Amorim, what you think has actually changed. And I'm going to be intrigued. I'm going to read through all of these comments later on as well. So I am going to be looking into this and bringing it back up in the morning as well, going off what you guys all say in this video as well. So please do get in there, get your comments in. Also, make sure you give the video a like. Make sure you do subscribe to Forever United TV for all of your updates as well. And yeah, let's enjoy this and let's just get the community in on this subject and then we'll talk about this some more in the morning as well. We are now moving across to the